Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So last time I discussed, if anybody remembers, Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Remember that? So 4 verses which summarizes Bhagavad Gita. And that is 10.8, 10.9, 10.10 and 10.11. 10 means chapter 10 and 0.9, 8, 9, 10, 11 means chapters, verses. So today I am going to discuss 3 Shloki Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita summarized into 3 verses. That was 4, but 1 is extra, so let's cut it more. In 3 verses you can summarize whole Bhagavad Gita. And that is 15 chapter 15th verse, 15 chapter 16th verse, and 15 17. 3 verses. And Madhvacharya and other acharyas, they refer to this as 3 Shloki Bhagavad Gita. So let's see what Krishna says here. So 15:15, you can repeat after me. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto.
Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto.
Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha.
Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha.
Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vidyo.
Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vidyo.
Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham.
Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham.
Anybody will repeat? You repeat? Okay, repeat. Yeah. So this is 3 Shloki Bhagavad Gita. It begins from this verse. And why they are calling again and again? So 15:15, that's a verse. Okay, so Sarvasya Cham Hridhi Sannivishto. Krishna is, in these 3 verses, he is telling who is he, and who are we, and what is our relationship with him, and what he is doing for us, and what we are supposed to do for him. These are relevant questions. That's all we have to answer, no? Who am I, who is God, and what is my connection with him? 3 questions, summarizes all questions. So, Krishna says, who is he? Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto. Sarvasya means of all living beings. Chaham means I, hridhi means heart, and sannivishto means enter or situated. So Krishna says, I am in everybody's heart. That's me. So, but the question is, we can't see him. If you do heart surgery, you will not see Krishna here. I have done heart surgeries. I was a doctor. So, you can see heart, but there is no Krishna. But Krishna says, I am there in the heart. So, is he speaking lies? Or is there some other understanding? Of course, scientists will not believe this, because cardiologists will not believe it. We can even take out the heart. We can take out the heart and transplant it into somebody else's body. We can do that for some time. It's possible. But Krishna says that I am there in the heart. So what's happening? So why does Krishna say this? Because he is there in the heart in the form of energy and not in the form which you see here. So can you see energy? No. When physicists, they found energy, they found this concept of energy, matter energy, this concept, although we accept this energy concept, it's very common to us now. We don't even think like that. But when the concept was discovered, matter and energy, previously people used to think it's just matter, fire, air, earth, water, and ether. They also used to accept ether. But then they found there's something, this you can see or feel. But energy, they found there's something else which you cannot see. You cannot even feel, but there is something there which you can access by some kind of instruments, like magnetic energy, no? So they put two magnets and they repelled. And people were thinking it's magic. It's magic because how can two things, they can repel, no? If you think back then, and even now, it is purely magical. You put two magnets, North Pole, they repel. So what's there in these two things which makes them repel? If you put North and South Pole, then they will attract. Even sun and earth, it attracts. So action at a distance, it was perceived as magic, it was perceived as witchcraft at that time. And Newton and other scientists, they said, well, whatever it is like this. We can see. So no explanation was given for that. So that is the concept of energy. Then kinetic energy, potential energy, you all know this, no? Is it children, kids know? Potential energy, kinetic energy?
They are not studied yet.
They are not studied? Electrical energy? You know? What's that? Tell? No, okay. Okay, so electrical energy. So all this energy concept and force concept. You do like this and it goes. This is a force. We can't see it. We can't see the force. We can see this and this, but nevertheless it goes. So this kind of things which you can't see, they exist. You can perceive it, but by instruments, but you can't see through senses. And that is called energy. Energy. So just as a small stone of magnet has attracting energy, or earth has gravity energy, similarly God has energy. And by energy, the matter can act at a distance. Is it? That thing can be here but can attract that chair. Is it? Sun is there but it can attract earth. Similarly, God, by using his energy, he can act at distance. He can be in his spiritual abode and from there he can act here. It's simple. Is it? So that's why Krishna says, I am in everybody's heart in form of energy. Not personally. He's not personally there. Just like we see God is everywhere. We say God is everywhere, no? It is said in scriptures. So some people say, okay, God is in my slippers, so I will put my slippers on my leg, so God is in my leg. Some people say like, they are so foolish to say this. But anyway, if we take this argument as valid, God is everywhere, but the explanation is he's everywhere in form of energy, not in personal form. Just like sunlight is everywhere. That doesn't mean sun is everywhere. You understand? Is there any place where there is no sunlight? You go out. Is there any place there is no sunlight? Huh? No, but there is sunlight. See, light is there. Light is there. It's not dark. There's no place where there is sunlight. Where there is no sunlight. Even 0.0001 centimeter. There's no darkness outside. No, it's light. But sun is there millions of miles away. Similarly, God is there in spiritual world, but his energy is everywhere. There's no place where he's not there. So there is some form of his energy in our heart and in every atom. And we can know that energy is present. Just like light is present everywhere, so there's no darkness. Similarly, when Krishna's energy is present in our heart starts beating. So there's a big question in science. Why does heart beat? Can anybody tell why does heart beat 24 hours? What makes it beat? Are you making your heart beat yourself? If that was the case, then you would be afraid of sleeping. Because when you sleep, your heart will stop. If you were beating your heart, nobody would have slept. But you sleep nicely with no tension. So you don't beat your heart. Then who is beating? So you ask scientists, they will say, yeah, we can tell. It is involuntary muscle. It is SA node and AV node. You have heard this? There's a particular type of muscle in the heart, SA node, AV node, which produces electrical impulses and heart keeps on beating. But this is not an explanation. This is trying to explain away the fact and not explain the fact. Is it? So if I ask you what is gravity, you may say gravity is an attracting force. But that's not the explanation of gravity. That's not the explanation why it attracts. This is saying what is gravity, but we are asking why it is there. Why the attraction is there? That question is not answering, no? So okay, this produces electric impulses 24 hours, but why it is producing electrical impulses? Why? How can it continuously produce that? And we know by scriptures, Krishna says, Sarvasya cham hridhi sannivishto. I am in everybody's heart in form of energy, and with that energy, I am sitting there, that energy is here, and with that energy, our heart keeps on beating. Electrical impulses come regularly and it keeps beating. Nobody in science knows why it happens. There is some explanation, channels and this, but everything, it doesn't happen itself, no? Somebody has to start it and keep on going. Is it? And that's why we put pacemaker. You know this? When these electrical impulses become less, then you have to put pacemaker. And then, so a heart beats due to God's energy present in a heart. So that's the evidence of God inside you. You can know. Even when you're sleeping, your heart is beating. So Krishna is giving the presence of His evidence, the evidence of His presence. He's saying, don't doubt that I am not there. I am there, but you can perceive the effect of my presence now. If you want to see me, then come to temple. He is standing here, person. But if you want to talk to me, then you should do devotion. You can see me here personally. This is my form. This is my energy. But if you want to talk to me, you want to play with me, you want to love me, then you have to do devotion. Then personally I will show myself. Do you understand? So, and that is why, all the saints, they respect others. Because they see God's presence in everybody's heart. Everybody's heart is beating now, I guess, no? Is it? Everybody's heart should be beating. And that is Krishna. That's all. Finish. If your phone has internet here, there's internet, no? In your phone? So what that means? That means your satellite is working. You know that. And that means the people who are controlling that satellite, they are there. Like Google or what. They are also busy. So when you see your internet, you can remember Google. So when you see your internet active, you know Google is active. Similarly, when you see your heart active, you know God is active. He's active and you can remember Him. So simple. So you put your hand here and you feel the heartbeat and you can feel God. This is how scriptures help us to remember God 24 hours. This is knowledge. So that's why we respect everybody. So we respect because people are God in one of His form of energy. He's there in everybody's heart. That's okay. So and not only everybody's heart, but He's there in every atom. In every atom. And we know that, in atom there is electrons. Yeah. And what's in between? Nucleus? Yeah. Protons, neutrons? You know that, no? And electrons keep on going. But nobody knows why they keep on going like this. Because according to physics, nucleus has proton. Proton means positive charge. You know this, no? An electron is negative. And when there is positive here and negative here, then it should slowly spiral and go in this. You know this, no? But that doesn't happen. So scientists came, okay, so what's the explanation? So they says, okay, let's just quantize it. Quantum. So they say, fine, electron goes like this and it is like this. You have to accept the fact. That means quantization. Quantization is a big term for accept this. Without any reason. That's all. That's the term there. So, okay, but then the point is why it's keep on going. Something is there which is not allowing it to go and collapse in this, is it? And that is Krishna. Super soul. It doesn't allow, it keeps on supplying energy to this electron. So it doesn't lose energy, it doesn't come here. There's energy and it keeps on going. So that is super soul. Super soul is in every atom, otherwise atom cannot sustain. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam says that there's a beautiful verse. Yad anugrata santi na santi yatadvat. That is Jeev Swabhav Kala Karmascha Yad Anugrata Santi Nat Santi Yatadvat. Jeev means we, our mind, our thinking, feeling and willing, and then Kal, time, and then our activities, motion in this material world, heart motion, the atoms, everything is due to mercy of God. If he takes his energy away from this world, everything stops. Your heart stops, all atoms collapse, everything destroys. That's how he does destruction. It's simple to destroy. No? Off the satellite, all your internet is finished in 1 second. You don't have to do anything. So Krishna takes away his energy at the time of universal destruction. Just he switches off, takes energy away, everything stops, time stops, atom stops, your heart stops, everything is finished. Very easy to destroy everything for him. So, who can forget God? People who have no knowledge. People who have knowledge of Gita, you can never forget him. You can, everywhere there is God, no? Here, in every atom, no? So, Krishna says, Sarvasya Cham Hridhi Sannivishto, okay? His omnipresence, you understand? He's omnipresent, that fact. And then he says, what I do, I stay in everybody's heart in form of energy, but what I am doing. So he's controlling, no? The satellite controlling. So from there he's put energy and it is his energy, so he can control. He's controlling. And what he's controlling? Krishna says, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So smriti means remembrance. You can see this word. Jnanam means knowledge. Apohanam means forgetfulness. So he is there, and from there he controls us by making us forget some things, by making us remember some things, by revealing us knowledge, by inspiring us. For example, I'll give you example. So many scientists, they have inspiration. No? Most of the discoveries are due to inspiration. It's not due to calculation. Most of the discoveries. And you have heard this term serendipity. You have heard?
Which one?
Serendipity.
Yes.
So it's a eureka moment.
Yeah.
That was, so that what was it? Pascal, that the law of buoyancy. So he was just taking bath in a tub. And suddenly his mug, it became inverted. And then it was not going inside. You see, if you put the mug, it will not go inside. And suddenly, oh my God, this is buoyancy. And it clicked him. Benzene molecule, kekule. So in dreams, he saw a snake catching the tail. And then next picture he saw a molecule which is in circle. Carbon molecules. Previously, scientists used to think all molecules are linear. There was no concept of cyclic molecule. And he got inspiration. Most of scientists get inspiration. Krishna says, Jnanam, I give knowledge. He is inspiring them.
Even Newton falling apple.
Yeah, Newton falling, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. So, from where this knowledge is coming, the scientific knowledge? Now you know. God. It's not theirs. It is God. But the problem is they take credit. That is bad.
So it is very obvious that some of those folks who have become scientists and invented or discovered something, God chose them for those reasons.
Yeah, He chose.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
The reason is that not all of them were very spiritual guys.
No, it's not spiritual. I'll tell you. Yeah, fine.
Why
You're right.
Whoever they
You're right. And that will come. No, this is a good question, and that's the answer. So fine, good question. So he's giving them knowledge, he's revealing, and not just science. In all our activities, there's inspiration. Like businessmen and all these entrepreneurs. Suddenly they get an inspiration and then get an idea. And they do that in spite of big risk, they become successful. All these, we were having men who built America, and Rockefeller and Morgan and all these people, Andrew Carnegie, they got an inspiration, okay, let's do this business, not that. And in spite of everybody saying you will fail. So in every sector, especially in arts and music, inspiration plays a very big role. Mozart, he said, I don't compose music. I listen to it from somewhere, and then I speak. These symphonies, all the fields there is inspiration. Even in your life there is inspiration. Even in your life, and that you call it as sixth sense or intuition. There are various names, but we know it's due to God. Now, why Krishna gives some people some kind of inspiration? Why doesn't give other people other kind of inspiration in spite of no spirituality and ordinary man? Krishna answers, I also give smriti. Smriti means what? Remembrance. So, due to previous lives, what they have done, he makes them remember in this life. So, if a person was scientist in his last life, and he died with a desire, I should do something, but he couldn't finish. He's born in this life, and then he notices that, and then he makes him remember, and then gives him inspiration. Okay, he makes him remember his desire. I want to do something. No, so some people are born. You see, different people are different people. You know, some people want to do something, some people don't want to do. So everybody, there's so many people in Harvard and Stanford. They go for scientific course. Very one or two, they will say, we will invent and we will find. Others, okay, let's take a job and publish some articles, and that's. So who are those people who in previous life had their desire unfulfilled? And then Krishna makes them remember, okay, this is our desire. And because of that desire, then they work hard, and then he inspires them, gives them the idea. Okay, so because they have desire, then they work in this life. When they're working hard, then Krishna says, okay, you want this? Take this. Just like a child. So child will ask, Mommy, I want chocolate. Mommy will say, no, your teeth will get spoiled. And then child will say, come again, Mommy, I want. And mother will say, no, you will not get chocolate. Then he starts weeping. Is it like that? And then mother will say, no, he will scold you. And then what he does, he goes out and lies on the road. And then, I want chocolate. And then they say, okay, take it, forget it. So they have a desire from previous lives. Krishna makes them remember that desire. Desire is related to heart, no? As we say, he's in the heart. He makes us remember that desire. And then the person, he works on that desire, puts efforts again and again and again, and then he acquires a deservance. You have to also deserve, is it? And then as soon as he deserves and desires, Krishna inspires, gives him, okay, this is our dream. He'll see a snake catching the tail. Okay, fine, I found Pansy molecule. So like that, Smriti. Whatever we have desires, we are carrying from past life. And Krishna is making us remember, okay, some people want to become pilot. If you ask a child, what do you want to become? Some children will with confidence say, they'll say, I'll want to go to army. They have no doubts. One of my friends, he said, okay, what did you want to become as a child? He said, I don't know, I had a strong desire to become a truck driver. He said that. Come on, truck driver. I don't know why, but I had a very strong desire to become a truck driver. So we all have some kind of desires, no, in our heart. And that is Krishna. He's making you remember past lives, where you stopped. Prabhupada speaks in purport. You go and read the purport and you will understand. But at the same time, apohanam means he also makes us forget. And you might think, why he makes us forget? If we would remember everything, then we would become Google. All information. Past, present, future. So you don't need Google. Every person will be in Google. He can just, in his mind, he can just think. But the problem with that is, if we don't forget, computers can hang. Is it? Googles have bugs. Your mind will start hanging. Too much information. You'll not be able to work. And if Krishna doesn't make you forget what kind of nonsense you did last life, you would be born and you will just go into guilt, depression and die. So it makes you forget all those kind of nonsense things we have done. Probably in last life we might have killed somebody, exploited somebody. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what we have done. But something wrong we have done. That we know. Otherwise we would not be born again. If we would do all proper things according to what God says and good, we would be back with God. But the fact we are born again away from Him, that something wrong we have done, but we don't know what wrong we have done. But He makes us forget. Okay, start fresh. So next life is rebooting. You see, computer hangs, so you reboot and then start fresh. So He gives you another life, makes you forget and gives you a chance again. Okay, this is a chance to become good person and please me. But if you fail this chance, then again death. Death means rebooting. Again death, you get another life, you forget everything, and you start fresh.
Disk reformat.
Reformatting. Yeah, reformatting actually. That's a good word. Maybe rebooting also. Yeah. Death is rebooting and then reformatting. Both of them. Both of them he does. And then you start. But reformatting loses the memory. He takes extra data with him. That's there with him. For you, from it's deleted, but then there's a backup with him. He keeps it. That's apohanam. He makes us forget. And that's important to forget. No, like suppose today you do something bad, then you're in guilt, so much tension, then most of the people sleep when they're in tension. Or they drink. Is it? Two things. So why they drink? So that they forget. Otherwise, under pressure, they will get brain hemorrhage or stress, problems, health problems, or you sleep. So that's a method of forgetting. That's the idea. So when we sleep, okay, Krishna sees, okay, he slept, so okay, make him forget. So death is reformatting and rebooting. But sleep is, what can we say, clearing the RAM? Not reformatting, but RAM, whatever is occupied, you
trash files.
Yeah, trash files. You just clear it and then you start fresh. That is sleep.
Refresh the memory.
That is sleep. So that's simple to understand. No, that is apohanam. So there is a use of forgetfulness also. Everything we should not remember. It's good to forget. No, it's good to forget. It's good to forget. It's good to forget this material world. Material world in the sense it's good to forget sins and bad things of this material world. It's good to remember the good part. It's good to forget yourself. And it is good to remember Krishna. And that's, if you want to forget yourself, Krishna will make you forget yourself. And that's a very big thing. One of the saints, he said, if I will go, then I may go. You know this? If I will go, then I may go. So when you forget yourself means when you don't give importance to yourself. Most of the time we remember ourselves, no? We are occupied with ourselves. Even if you are talking to me, you are thinking about yourself. Actually, nobody is talking to anybody. You are talking to yourself. Nobody loves anybody. You love yourself. That is Chandogya Upanishad says. Because I love that person because he loves me. Is it? You see, again you are interested in yourself. If he was not interested in you, you will not be interested in him. So the inspiration to be interested in him is because of you. You got my point? If that person is interested, suppose you are interested in Deepak, then will I be interested in you? No. If you are interested in me, then I'll be interested with you. So that's why anybody who loves anybody, they love him because they love themselves. Anybody who talks with anybody, they talk with him because they want to talk about themselves. And that is called I. Everything is rotating around us. Everything, all decisions we take by keeping I in between, no? I like this, I don't like this. I like that person, I don't like that person. It's always I. It's always I. When you are talking to somebody, you know what is happening? You are already thinking of something in your mind, making a reference to you. And when I was a child, all these relatives used to come, no, in our house, mummy, papa, and uncle, auntie, and all. And we were child, and father used to say, "Go in the room. It's important talk." And then we become old enough. Then we say, "Come on, they are talking absolute nonsense. This is not important. The crazy talks." But what happens when all relatives sit? Now that person will say, "I went to party," so she will say, "I also went to party." It's always they're talking about themselves. Not any party. Everybody is talking about themselves, not of others, because we are interested in ourselves. And that's what this saint said. When I goes, when you stop giving importance to yourself and start giving importance to God, then you will go to Him. That why he says Smritir Jnanam. If you want to forget yourself, He will help you. If you want to remember Krishna, He will help you. Everything is under His control. Everything is under His control. So that's why he says Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. So it's nice, no? So a person in knowledge will never forget God. Will never forget God. So now suppose now you're getting knowledge, no? Is it? Getting knowledge? And who is making you understand? Krishna in your heart. Because if somebody is mad, he cannot understand. If you're mad, I can give you knowledge, but you will not be able to understand it. If you are psychologically hampered, you will not understand. So understanding and taking data, they are two different things, no? Machine cannot understand. Can machine understand? Can your Apple computer understand? It can take input, but cannot understand. So that understanding is due to Krishna. Jnanam. Jnanam doesn't mean just knowledge. It means understanding. There's a difference between knowledge and understanding. You getting my point? So Google has knowledge but no understanding. We have knowledge and understanding because there's Krishna inside. And what we want to remember, we can remember. What we want to forget, we can forget. By the help of God. So Natta Smritir Jnanam Apanam. It's beautiful. And then Krishna says, how he can... So I told you, he has all the knowledge. He reformats, reboots, refreshes, but he keeps up a backup, everything. And that's why Krishna says, Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo. Vedaischa sarvair. Also, Ved means to know. I know everything. I know everything. And it is very easy to understand. He knows everything, no? Because he is there everywhere in form of energy. All data goes to him. In past, present, future. He can know everything. He can predict future very easily. He knows everything. He can never be wrong. Vedescha savair aham eva vedyo. And that knowledge of God is called Vedas. Whatever knowledge is in mind of God, that is called Vedas. Whatever knowledge, you also have knowledge, no? Some knowledge in your head. But that knowledge is called as, what can we say? Your wisdom. Yeah. But the knowledge of God in his mind, that is called Vedas. Vedas are not book. Vedas are not just books. Vedas are mind of God. Just like Gita. What is Gita? Gita is mind of God. Krishna's mind, no? He's giving his knowledge. So, okay, tell me, is God eternal?
Yes.
Yes. He doesn't die. He doesn't take. Why is eternal? Is his knowledge eternal? Yes. If he is eternal, his knowledge should be eternal. That is why we say Vedas are eternal. And that's why this term Sanatan is coming. Sanatan? Sanatan means to always remain. So this knowledge of Gita is eternal. It's always there. It's applicable to all time, all place, all circumstance. So some people say Gita is for 5,000 years ago. Now we are scientifically advanced. People say no. Now we are advanced, so Gita is not applicable. This is foolishness. Now 5,000 years ago you were drinking by leg or mouth? What do you mean? By mouth. And now you are drinking by mouth or leg? Same. So Vedic knowledge is eternal. Those principles do not change. They can never change. You see by eyes, you will keep on seeing by eyes. So Vedas talk about sun, moon, all these principles which will never change. Okay, but if you think like this is going to happen. You will undergo stress. If you think like this, then you will not undergo stress. And that principle will always hold. That is Vedas. So if you think of God, you will be supremely satisfied. 5,000 years ago it was true, now it is true, and after 5,000 years ago, after it will be true. If you don't think of God, you will always be stressed no matter whatever you do. And that's true now, previously, and in future. You can't change this. It's impossible to change this. So that is Vedas. Vedas is talking about eternal knowledge, not temporary knowledge. And that is when Vedas, that is when Gita, you will not find a chapter which will teach you how to make rocket. You will not find. There are sections of Vedas which talk about how to make machinery and everything, but in general you will not find. People say, why it's not there? Because that's not eternal knowledge. 5,000 years ago nobody made rockets. Now they made rocket, and after some time everything is going to finish again. So that's not eternal. That comes and goes. But some things will always true hold, irrespective of any circumstance. You will eat, you will sleep. That will hold no matter how much scientifically advanced you are. No matter if you go to moon, you will sleep. So Vedas talk about sleep. Remembrance, you see. Remembrance is an eternal principle. Humanity will always remember something, no? Forgetfulness is eternal principle. Knowledge and understanding is eternal principle. All these principles Vedas talking. Death is eternal principle. Life is eternal principle. This is what we are discussing about eternal principles. To understand the eternal principles, why? Because ultimately to understand eternity. God. And Krishna says, Matta Smriti Jnana Pamanesho Vedesha Sarve Rama Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Vede Bachaham. And Krishna mercifully, He gives His knowledge to all of us in form of a book. So He speaks to His Brahmaji and other saints. He gives them, okay, this is what I think, take this knowledge. And they gave to rishis, and Vyasadev, he wrote them for the benefit of mankind. And one of the texts is Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So now you can understand who is God, no? Omnipresent, omniscient and omnipotent. He is controller. He is controlling everything. That's the idea. Okay, so this is one thing. But now Krishna is talking about us. Now that is He. Some people say we are God. They say no. Some people say that. You have heard that, no? Atma hi Paramatma. You have heard that, no? So Krishna is now contradicting. Krishna is now arguing against that point. And 16th verse. This is 3 Shloki Gita, 2nd. He says, Dva emau purshau loke saras chaksharai vacha. Shara sarvani bhutani kutas taksharam uchyate. He says, there are 2 classes of beings, Shara and Akshara. So Shara means, you know what's the meaning of Shara? Kshar? Shar means to break. Akshar means which never breaks. So there are 2 classes of beings. One which breaks, one which doesn't break. So what that means? So Krishna says, one type of, most of us are Kshara. We break. We break means we can be influenced by death. We can be influenced by illusory energy of God, Maya. We can be under influence that. We break under the influence of illusion. So your mind gets bewildered by lust, anger, greed. You can't. No, ordinary people, they cannot maintain an equilibrium of mind. Is it? The mind gets bewildered, and then the mind demands food, water, sleep. All those things are under influence of material nature. People, most of 99% people are like that. Shara. 1% is Akshara. They don't break by the influence of energy of God. So when they chant the holy names, they're beyond hunger, thirst, anxieties, lust, anger, greed. Their mind is stable, fixed on God. So Krishna says there are 2 types of beings, conditioned and liberated. Shara means conditioned, Akshara means liberated. So conditioned means we are conditioned by body. We need this body to live. You understand? That is the meaning of conditioning. Is it? So just like if I say, you are conditioned for cigarette. Then what that means? You can't live without cigarette. You've got addiction, no? So if I say you're conditioned to drinking alcohol, that means you are addicted to alcohol. Without alcohol, you become sick and probably you die. So we are conditioned to this body. Without this body, we can't speak, we can't see, we can't do anything. That's okay. But there are some people who are liberated. They can function without this body. When they chant, they leave this body and they can function everything without the body. They don't need this body. And that is why you see all these saints in Puranas. You read, people used to ask them questions. They close their eyes and then they see the future, past. You know this, no? By the insight. So and Sanskrit this is called 𝗪𝗃𝗁. So they can see, okay, that happened at that time, and Puranas we read so many times. So they are seeing without the help of eyes, from the soul directly. That's why they can see past, present, future. And this kind of gift is there in some people, and that is called. So what's that called in science? There's a word, to foresee future. They can understand that, and there are many movies made on this. No, there was I saw in when I was a child movie Linda's. So she could see the future by intuition.
I always think my wife.
What that? Back to the Future is their machine, huh?
Premonition.
Yeah, something like this.
Premonition, that you can foresee. What
you can foresee.
Accident is going to happen.
You can foresee. That intuition is there. So that you can see without the help of your eyes. And that's called, so that's a small gift. If people can do by this gift, God can do. He can see everything. And liberated souls can do that also. So they can see without eyes, they can hear without ears. They can do anything without using this body. And that's called mystic powers. You know mystic powers? So mystic powers is a reflection of that capacity. So they are called liberated people. Bhakti Krishna then says, in this material world, every living entity is fallible. In spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. So in this world, all people require body and brain to function. If your brain gets injured, you can't function. But in spiritual world, there is no body, there is no brain, but still they can see, talk, and everything directly from soul. So we are conditioned or limited by this body. This body is. We might feel this body is so nice, but actually according to Bhagavad Gita, it's a limitation on you. It's a limitation. So if you think by your brain, by your calculation, you can think something logically. But if you think by intuition and directly from soul, you can think much more farther. So and that is why in America you have all these psyche. What is psyche people? What do we call?
Clairvoyant people.
Yeah. Clairvoyant psychics. Psychics, they are little above body and brain. They directly go in meditation and see through soul. So they have got this. You can also do, but it's very simple. Very simple. But to do that, you have to understand you are not this body. You have to understand this concept of conditioned and liberated. Of course, we are not interested to do all these things. We are interested to understand God. But the idea is there. Liberated, and when you are totally free of this body by spiritual practices, you chant. When you chant and you completely forget this body, completely forget your brain, and you know that your soul convinced. At that time you can see Him face to face, God. Now He is there in form of energy. By that time He will personally come in your heart and show Himself. See, here I am. So E is equal to mc square, is it? Energy can change into matter, matter into... So energy can change into Krishna. Suddenly, it's His energy. He can change that energy into God. And when you do nonsense, He can again convert His form into energy and you will not be able to see Him. That's as simple as that. So that is two type of... You understand? So most of us are what? Conditioned.
Fallible.
Conditioned, fallible. We break down. But then Krishna says, this is the answer. Krishna says, now this is third verse last 3 shloki Bhagavad Gita. Says Uttama Purushasthu Anne Paramatmeti Udharita Yo Lokotrema Avishya Vibharti Abhaya Ishvara. 15th chapter, 17th verse. He says, beside these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, imperishable, the Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them. So besides liberated souls, beside conditioned souls, there is one more person, God, Super Soul. He is beyond both liberated and conditioned. No matter you become liberated, no matter you become Paramahamsa, no matter you become 100,008, Mandalam, whatever you become, you cannot become God. He is beyond liberation. He cannot be conditioned, he is beyond liberation. So Krishna doesn't have a body like us. Because even liberated souls, they are beyond this body, no? So God doesn't have a body like us, although it looks like that. Man is created in the image of God. So he doesn't have body, he doesn't have brain, he doesn't have eyes, he doesn't have ears, but yet he has spiritual eyes, spiritual ears, spiritual body, spiritual mind, and he directly thinks from that, directly speaks from that, just as liberated souls do, just as mystics do. But he is even beyond them. His power is unlimited, our power is limited. And that is 3 shloki Bhagavad Gita. And it summarizes everything. It summarizes pretty much everything. And you can keep on talking. I can keep on talking on this. There are so many things on these 3 verses. You can keep on talking whole day. But there are many layers of understanding of these 3 verses. But you see pretty much there's God, there is conditioned soul, there's liberated soul. And if you want to become liberated, you have to get knowledge from Him. His knowledge is perfect. He knows past, present, future. If you take His shelter, He will make you remember about Himself, and He will make you forget you, importance of you, and then your life becomes perfect. And that's what the best way to do is read Bhagavad Gita, take knowledge and chant His name. Because even if you take this knowledge, now I've told you this, no? When you walk out, you'll forget everything. 100%. Yeah, you'll forget everything. Now it looks okay. As soon as you walk out, you'll forget everything. So you need strength. You need strength to remember it. All this, you need strength to remember it, no? That strength will be given by holy name. So if you don't chant, if you simply read Gita, that's better than not reading Gita, of course. But if you want to if you want to understand it and put it in your heart always, you have to chant, to take His help. Because He is a cause of memory, is it? He is a cause of forgetfulness. If you don't take His help, He will keep on reformatting and rebooting you. You can't help it out. He will keep on doing that. So you go out, He will reformat it. Then you go out again, not reformat, but refresh. He refresh you, then you go out again, refresh. Then you again come back on Sunday, again read, you go out, He'll refresh. He keep on doing. But when you say Krishna, Krishna, I want to remember all these things. So let me chant a holy name. So when you keep on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then He will not reformat you. And you will always remember Him. You can always see Him everywhere as His energy. And one day you can see Him, His form in your heart, and your life is perfect. Finish. So read these 3 verses, 15:15, 15:16, 15:17, and then you can read ahead also, but it pretty much summarizes whole Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any question, any suggestions, or we can do Kirtan for some time.